YTBC, what's the deal? Now, I've came out with multiple videos talking about the Povetkin and Deontay Wilder fight. I've also talked about how these guys go back and forth in the media with their teams and managers and promoters, and I like it. I love it. It's good for us fans. It's good for the promotion. It's good to just create discussion. All right, so today I see an article this morning here on boxingscene.com. I'll leave it in the description. As always, you read it, come to your own surmise. Deontay Wilder says Povetkin did nothing to Klitschko, and I'm faster and athletic. All right, so let me read a quote from Deontay Wilder, and I'm going to chop it up with you guys. He says, "If we go to Russia, let's go," which they are. "I'm prepared to fight anywhere. It's not going to matter to me at all," said Wilder to Premier Boxing Champions. "But they're going to a whole lot of trouble for nothing. I'm on a mission to be the undisputed champion. I don't care who he is or where I have to go. I'm a different kind of fighter. I'm a different breed. Going to Russia don't intimidate me." He couldn't do anything to Klitschko, and Klitschko is way more slower than me. Just imagine a guy who was way faster with much more athleticism. If you can't handle him, what are you going to do with me? All right. I guess we can question who was more athletic. I mean, I don't know how we would question that. I mean, do we do a vertical test? Do we do a 100-meter sprint? Do we do a weight room examination? I mean, I don't know who's more athletic. Or do we put them in different uniforms and see who can, play different sports at a higher level? I don't, Klitschko was pretty damn athletic, in my opinion, when he fought Povetkin. It's just the way Klitschko chooses to fight that doesn't strike a lot of fans as exciting. But it worked for him, and it's a style that, he's implemented over the last decade that has worked for him to help him put together his historic, decade-long run. But I would say that Deontay Wilder and Klitschko bring two different things to the table, and who's to say one's better than the other? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. Now, if Wilder goes in there and fights Povetkin off his back foot in the first round and boom, catches him with a right hand, then we can have some discussions, But right now, I mean, I don't know who's more athletic between that version of Klitschko and this version of Deontay Wilder. I mean, how do we clarify that? You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you mean by more athletic? Bending at the waist, just moving around the ring. I think Klitschko has pretty nimble feet. When Klitschko puts the whole package together in his fights, he looks phenomenal as a fighter. He can paw you with that jab. He can hook off the jab. Nice right hand. I thought he had probably had one of the best straight right hands over the last few years at the heavyweight division. So I do believe Deontay Wilder when he says that they're different. They're totally different. But with being different, who's to say that Deontay Wilder's different is better than what Klitschko offered? As far as when it comes to fighting Povetkin. I think Deontay Wilder is a more aggressive-minded fighter than Klitschko. And sometimes, especially a heavyweight, man, when the heavyweight is aggressive, he's aggressive, but he has some weaknesses. That's what I love about it. It's like I remember watching Mike Tyson. I'm not trying to say Wilder's Mike Tyson, but I'm just saying they have all the ability in the world, but at the same time, there are things there that can be exploited. It's just the fact, can they get exploited by another fighter? And I've yet to see anybody exploit Deontay Wilder's weaknesses. But as far as him saying he's a better fighter than Vladimir Klitschko, I mean, he's a heavyweight, man. All these guys are going to think they're better than Vladimir. We're not talking about achievements and what they've achieved, but if you ask these guys right now, today, a lot of these guys are going to rate themselves higher than Vladimir. Nobody's intimidated of him. Nobody's scared of him. But I do think guys have respect as far as what he's done over the last decade. But this doesn't surprise me that Deontay Wilder thinks that he's a better fighter than Klitschko. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't surprise me. Like, I would expect these guys to talk like this. But he thinks that he's positive that his physical attributes will present an even bigger problem for Povetkin. Again, we have to wait and see. I know when Povetkin tried to get on the inside and slip Vitaly's jab, he ran right into a clinch. He literally ran right into a clinch. Now, he did get knocked down a few times that were legit, but some of those knockdowns were throwdowns to me. So can Deontay Wilder like physically manhandle Povetkin the way that WLADIMIR did, as far as just physically grabbing him and probably doing some things that are looked at as illegal tactics. I mean, can he just physically just ragdoll him in the ring? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, I know last time I checked, Klitschko outweighed Deontay Wilder by 20 pounds probably on fight night. I know Deontay Wilder says he's going to add some weight. I know his last fight he came in at like 229, 230, somewhere around there. I like him probably 235, 240 because he can carry the weight. I think he'll carry the weight. I'm not saying he should add, go lift weights to gain more muscle, but just probably add some, just build those legs. I mean, every fighter can work on something. If it was something I say Deontay could work on, is probably building his leg strength and just working on moving around the ring and sharpen up his punches, and probably some defensive things too. But yes, him saying he's a more athletic fighter, again, how do we measure this? Do we, because by looking at both guys, I mean, to me, Klitschko by the eye test looks way more polished of a fighter than Deontay Wilder. But like I said, Deontay Wilder does bring his awkwardness, just like Fury brings this kind of herky-jerky awkwardness. And sometimes your awkwardness can be a plus, But yeah, him saying he's more athletic, how do we measure it? Do we go in the weight room? Like I said, do we put up a batting cage and see who can hit a baseball further? Do we put him on the hockey rink? I mean, I don't know who's more athletic. They both look pretty damn athletic to me. WLADIMIR chooses to fight more out of a upright type of position, so he may look more stiff to some of you. But then you can argue that, yeah, Wilder fights a little bit more loosey-goosey, but his hands are down and his defense isn't as tight. You know what I mean? So, two different styles Povetkin's going to have to go against. I don't think Wilder's going to fight anything like Vladimir Klitschko. Old Klitschko, new Klitschko, a Klitschko from 4 years ago, 8 years ago. He doesn't fight like him. He fight like his own. Deontay has his own way of fighting, So I guess we'll see on fight night if he's more athletic or his style was more difficult to deal with. But I like this banter. I like that Deontay Wilder's coming out there, man, and he's being himself, I don't expect him to rate anybody over him, especially if the guy is fighting today, even if it is one of the Klitschko brothers. Just getting this out there, create more discussion, more topics about this fight. I'm excited, man. I cannot wait for this fight to go down. What do you guys think about this? Do you agree with Deontay Wilder, or do you think he's totally off base? Let me know. YTBC. I'm out.